The truth about this pattern is, so you already know that I was salty, right? I was so salty. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Talisha and I also go by CreativiTeeByT, and in today's video I am going to be sharing a couple of tops that I made by using Simplicity 3003. And if you want to know the truth about this pattern, please continue to watch. Alright, so I hope everyone is having a great and wonderful weekend so far, and I hope all is well. And I'm going to go ahead and jump right on into this video. So I recently finished sewing up garments for the Falling for Sewing series that Ellie of Sally and Sam Style and I just finished up on our channels. I had multiple patterns and garments that I wanted to sew up in between the series, and I was actually going to do Sewing the Trend series in between. But after I got sick, I wasn't able to squeeze them in. So I am going to just try to pump them out as fast as I can now because of all the things that I want to get made up for fall. I love fall sewing. Again, there's just so many things that I still want to make. And I'm going to go ahead and start with today's pattern because this was also on that list. And this is a Simplicity 3003. So when I first looked at the new releases for Simplicity fall patterns, this pattern right here, I'm telling you, Simplicity 303 was love at first sight. I wanted to just run and get it, get the sewing machine and just go for it, okay? I have always been a fan of bell sleeves, although they describe this as a ruffle, but to me this is a bell sleeve, okay? So I've always been a fan of them, and I had planned on digging out an old pattern that I used some years ago to put them on some garments for this fall. But when I saw that this pattern was released, I was like, yes, I don't have to go and dig it up. And not only does this pattern have the bell sleeves, but it has two different lengths. It's already patterned for you. So I just felt like that was absolutely wonderful because of how much I love them. Now, this pattern also has a turtleneck, which is perfect for me in the climate that I live in. And it also allows for you to make a basic top by using the sleeves from view A and the neckband from view C. I'm saying all that to say this. This is a great pattern that everyone could benefit from that sews. It is so good because not only are the tops good, great for all seasons, but you can hack it, turn it into a dress, all that. So I love the pattern, okay? Now, after I somewhat recovered from my illness, I thought to myself, I wanted to sew, but I don't want to make anything too complicated, right? I don't want to sew anything that has buttons. I don't want to sew anything that has gathers. I don't want to sew anything that has interfacing. I don't want to sew up anything that requires a zipper, right? So I said to myself, let's go ahead and pull out Simplicity 3003 and sew it up because the views are pullover tops. I mean, look at them, right? I'm looking at the front cover. So I put out the pattern, cut out the pattern pieces, and although this pattern is very basic looking and I could sew up a pattern like this without directions, I went ahead and looked at the directions anyway, just because that's what I do. And lo and behold, the truth about this pattern is it calls for interfacing and an invisible zipper. Are you kidding me? Disappointment galore. I was like, what? How? And why? Okay. So you already know that I was salty, right? I was so salty. I was salty because the selective OCD in me just couldn't sew it up against the instructions without making it like the instructions first, due to the possibility that it may not fit over my head. So what did I do? I cut out the interfacing and I installed the zipper. I put the shirt on and it felt great and it looked great. Loved it. Which shirt am I talking about? I'm talking about the one I have on right now, okay? So I tested it to see if it would fit over my head without unzipping the zipper, and it did, okay? But there's more to this. In my mind, all I could think of is that, you know, I worked so hard to put this zipper in, went and found my interfacing, pressed it on, you know, and it's not even really necessary. Then I made a second view, okay, which is this view behind me right here. But I omitted the zipper because I had a different thought or opinion about the necessity of the zipper, okay? I'm going to go over all the details of the pattern. And as I do that, and I talk about the alterations, I will let you know my overall thoughts about if the zipper was necessary or not, okay? And please note that I am going to be talking about two different views in this video, and the two views that I made was view C, which was the regular neckband without the bell sleeves, which is the top that I'm making right now, and you'll see those photos in the video. And this is a rib knit, and I also made view B with a double brush poly knit, okay? Now this pattern again is Simplicity 3003. The description of this pattern is that it is an easy to sew knit top in 2 lengths and have sleeve and neckline variations and an invisible back zipper closure. View B has a contrast ruffle sleeve. This pattern has 3 views, okay? View A looks like a basic turtleneck. View B is a turtleneck with the contrast ruffle or bell sleeve. And view C has a shorter ruffle bell sleeve with a standard collar band. For the view that I made view B. However, I did not contrast my ruffle or bell sleeve. I just used the same fabric. And actually in the contrast with this pattern, the contrast is the fact that you can use lace. And that's seen on the back of the pattern here in the middle. I was going to do like a black overlay, but then it looked a little Halloweenish, so I did pick up some black lace for that, but I'll just maybe make a black one later. Anyway, but yes, I made view B because I wanted my top to have the longer bells, and that's why I made that view, okay? So for the fabric, this pattern recommends jersey, rib knit, stretch velvet, and sweater knits. For the sewing skill level, the level is noted as easy, and it is for those who decide to make it the way I did on the second view, which is this view right here. And for those who make the pattern as it is with the zipper, like how I did with this view, it would be easy for like an advanced beginner, but not for a beginner because, you know, as I previously stated, the pattern does call for an invisible zipper, which is why I said advanced beginner. As we all know, invisible zippers are much harder to install than like your basic zipper. Now for your notions, you are going to need your thread, the interfacing, and an invisible zipper of 7 to 9 inches. I believe view C calls for the 7-inch, and then views A and B call for the 9-inch. So for the pattern sizing, the sizing comes in 6 to 24, and the size that I made was a size 20. The finished bust measurements on the size 20 is 43 inches. My bust is 45 inches, so I made the 43-inch size 20 because I knew that my bust would fill it out and stretch the top and make it have the fitted look that I prefer for this pattern, okay? And for the pattern pieces that you cut, depending on the view that you decide to make, there are 4 to 5 pattern pieces. I made view C without the bell or ruffle. That again is this view right here. And so I only needed 4 pattern pieces, which was the front, the back, the sleeves, and the neckband. Then I made view B, and I used 5 pattern pieces for that one, which was the front, the back, the sleeves, the turtleneck collar, and the bells or the ruffle for the sleeve. Now, do my shirts or tops look like the photos? They absolutely do. Absolutely do. Were the instructions easy to follow? Absolutely. There's nothing hard about the instructions or the pattern for me at all. And the things that I like about the pattern, I like the way it looks in general. I like the overall design. I like the length of the top. The length of the top is long. It is probably the longest top that I've made like this since I've been sewing, but I like that for winter and fall because it keeps you covered. And I also like the shape of the top because it has some shaping, so it's not like boxy. And for like a t-shirt or knit type of pattern, I prefer more shape. Sometimes with my wovens, it's not so much all the time. I don't really care. But what I will say that you will notice in my photos is that the top is long. In this top, I'm going to have to cut because with stripes, I usually try to, when I'm getting ready to hem my tops, I usually try to find like a color or a particular stripe or whatever so that I can just cut off on that all the way around and hem it, like even up the different color or the different line on the stripes. Okay, I think you know what I'm getting at. Just using the stripes as a guide to cut and hem. Well, it never fails. It seems like whenever I use that method, it's like I'm cutting up in a spiral and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I cut off a chunk. I don't know if you can see it on this side. Sorry, the camera's getting dark. Right here. And so in the videos that you see, the chunk is probably going to be on the right side of the screen, or I don't know, you'll see it, but one side is like whatever. So I kept it that way because at the time that I took those photos, I had not made a second view, and I wanted you to be able to see how long it really was. And now that I have this made and you see how long it is, then I am going to be cutting it off so to where the chunk is not there. So I'm going to have to cut 10 inches or 2 inches, I'm sorry, off. But again, it's okay because the top is really long and I do like that. So what did I dislike about the pattern? I don't like that this is not designed to be a pullover top. I just really think that they should have, cut out the necessity of a zipper. Yeah, it's just not necessary for a simple pattern like this to have a zipper, in my opinion. So for the alterations and changes, yes, okay. Like I said, for the second view, which is the leopard print, which is right here, I decided to not use a zipper because I was able to slip this view, the first view, over my head with no issues. I mean, it was a little bit restricting, but not enough to where I felt like, I shouldn't do it. However, with the leopard print up here, it's a bit tighter to get on. This is a rib knit fabric, and so I feel like it stretches a bit more, and it kind of grows as I wear it. So it was a little bit tight. So now I can get this view on by using this double brush poly without the threads popping on my turtleneck and things like that, but I have to be careful. And I think the other reason why I'm able to get it on is because I do have a smaller head circumference. My head is 21 inches in circumference, so if my head was any larger, even by an inch, it may not have fit at all or not fit without popping my threads. So just know that, just keep that in mind. Now, because I had no issues with the tightness with type 1, with this top number 1, the striped shirt, I did not decrease the seam allowance either to make room for the possibility of my head not fitting. But future me will do so, or I may just trace the neckline out to match this pattern right here, which is Simplicity 9385. This is one that I made a while back when it first came out, but I made it in the wrong size and it did not fit me, and it was so bad that I wasn't even willing to show it on the channel or on Instagram, because it showed my lumps and bumps. I don't want anyone to see that. I mean, you're gonna see them anyway because they're there, but I mean, they were really there. So anyway, but because this particular pattern is pullover right here, it's designed to go over the head. Okay, so you could just trace this neckline if you like, if you just want to make sure that it will definitely fit, or I could just use this pattern for the bodice because it has a similar bodice, but I don't believe it's as long, and just use the sleeves from Simplicity 3003, you know. So between this pattern, Simplicity 9385, and the Simplicity 3003, I can definitely get the fit that I need for my head, you know. And yeah, so we've got winnings there. So if I recommend any modifications, just do the same thing that I just said here. Trace out that neckline to make sure that you can get it fitted, maybe even increase just a tad bit the turtleneck band or the neck band, you know, for you to be able to get that over your head. So did I have any first time experiences? No. The fabric that I use is for this fabric, this stripe fabric right here. It's a knit that I had picked up from Walmart as a bundle when I was grocery shopping one day. This was a 2-yard bundle for $4, and I feel like this is some good fabric. Here's my little bundle right here. Yep, two yards for $4, and I even have some left, and I have cut out a beanie hat that I am gonna sew up this weekend, or today I should say, to match, because I do love a good hat. Actually, when I picked that up, I picked up another bundle that's very similar, but this is 3 yards of fabric, and this was $8. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with that, but I picked this up like last year. So yeah, not really sure. I might save that one for the summer, but it does have like some of the new trending colors, the burgundies and whatnot in that. So, but anyway, so yeah, so again, got this from Walmart. It's good fabric, it's comfortable. Like I said, it kind of grows as you wear it. I did not hem my sleeves just because I kind of forgot, and then I was okay with it. And then I was going to experiment after I was like, oh, I'm okay with it, with the lettuce hem. I know Tiffany from Who's Your Handmade did a little tutorial on her channel about how you can do it on a regular sewing machine. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try her method, watch her video again, try her method, and then I may come back and show you what it looks like. But yeah, it's very comfortable, and like I said, I even have fabric left over. And for this leopard print right here, I use a double brush poly knit that I purchased from Joann Fabrics last year, but they still have that in stock, and it's very nice. I pre-washed all my fabric before I sewed anything on it because I learned my lesson about that. But this is so fabulous. I love this fabric. Definitely get you some, and I will link to it in the description box below. So I would definitely recommend this pattern. Absolutely, hands down. Just know that it's not pullover. Okay, reading is fundamental. If I'd have read it, I don't know. This pattern just came out in the Fall Simplicity collection this year in 2024, and is still available on the simplicity.com website in PDF and paper form, and at Joann Fabrics. For my pairings, I paired my first top with my wide leg mom jeans and my white tennis shoes and my gold chains and gold earrings. I paired my second top with my black self-drafted skirt made out of Liverpool knit from Hobby Lobby, my burgundy wide stretch belt from Amazon, and my Mary Jane style of shoe that was designed by Steve Madden in burgundy, and my fleece tights, which are supposed to be my flesh color. I think they're a little bit too red, but that'll be in a different video, but I still felt like they looked all good together. So to sum everything up, the truth about this pattern is that looks are deceiving. This pattern at first glance looks like it's designed to be pulled over, but it is not. always read the back of your patterns before either making them or purchasing them or both, so that you know what you're getting into. I need to do that more myself, obviously, because this is not the first or second time that this has happened. However, I am very happy that I made this pattern. I'm very happy that I purchased this pattern. I absolutely love my tops, and I am getting ready to make a third view from this. And now that I've cut into this pattern, Simplicity, I believe, is on sale today at Joann's. This is the last day. I'm going to pick up a second one so that I have a nice uncut pattern, because I do like it that much. I feel like it's timeless, very timeless, and good for all seasons. All right, so I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, you know what I'm getting ready to say. Please take a pause for the cause and click the like button and the subscribe button and the gray notification bell so that you can be notified of future videos. I will have a full, detailed, dedicated review on my blog for this pattern, just like the others, so I will go ahead and link that in the description box below, so that if you have additional questions, you can check that out and see up close photos. Please let me know your thoughts about the pattern and the tops, and let me know which view or which views you would make if you had this pattern or when you get this pattern. Again, this is a timeless must-have pattern. If you don't have it and you want it in your stash, leave me a comment below and say, yes, I do, and I will put you in a drawing for a giveaway to have one. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.